Texas Governor Greg Abbott continues to send migrant buses to cities like New York, Chicago, and Washington. The mayors of those cities continue to call out the governor of Texas for creating the problem. They are not calling out Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. Joining us now for more is former acting Border Patrol Commissioner and senior law enforcement analyst Mark Morgan. Mark, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Rob.
So, Mark, here we go. Many areas in Texas and Mexico, they finally are getting the rain that they haven't gotten all summer long. The Rio Grande River is now twice as deep as it was just a week and a half ago. The current running around 5 times as fast. I know this is something that you're familiar with, but right now the numbers are shocking. At least 13 migrants, including kids, have drowned as a result of the currents, and we still are hearing nothing from the White House. What do you make of that?
Yeah, Rob, look, that's just for the past couple of days. And you're right. We have not heard a word from the White House or Secretary Mayorkas. Rob, you and I have talked about this, so I appreciate you bringing this to light because this is an issue that we're not hearing from the mainstream media, is that under this administration, because of their open border policies that have encouraged and incentivized illegal immigration, they shattered another all-time record. And I know it's early in the morning, but the truth is the number of dead migrants that CBP has encountered at the southwest border shattered all records. It's over 1,000 under this current administration. And look, we have other entities that are talking about that up to 30% of young women and children are sexually assaulted on their journey up here. And we haven't even talked about the expansion of human trafficking and associated tragedies that go along with that. And so every time Secretary Mayorkas says that he's developed a safe, orderly, and humane illegal immigration system, it's just another lie, Rob, among many.
Yeah, it really is. The gaslighting of the American people goes on and on. The southern border and the crisis down there is not a Republican talking point. You took the words right out of my mouth. So Joe Biden now holds another record when it comes to the southern border. 2022 is the deadliest year in recorded history at the southern border. Your reaction?
For the migrants themselves. That's a key distinction.
Right.
That's what this White House, Rob, as you said, or Secretary Mayorkas, they're not just not telling the American people, they're lying about it. So this large demographic that they say that they're trying to help and protect illegally, I might add, and is causing our border to be wide open and threats to come in. But it's also our open border policies are the most dangerous and deadly for the migrants themselves.
Right.
They have encouraged. That's why, look, when you have 2 million, over 2 million in one fiscal year, think about it. The number of dead migrants have increased. The number of migrants that have suffered at the hands of cartels and other dangerous criminals via sexual assaults, and the number of those now that have fallen prey to trafficking have all exponentially increased and shattered every record. So we keep saying the most inhumane thing that we can do for the migrants themselves is to have these open border
and we're
policies.
showing pictures of the Rio Grande River right now. Basically, in the summer during the dry season, it's easier to wade across it. The water is really, waist deep at its deepest point. But that's not the case now, especially as they get more and more rain as we head into fall. It's going to become more dangerous. Okay, to Chicago. As of this morning, around 100 migrants, so not that many when you think that 4 million have crossed over the 19 months of Joe Biden as president. 100 migrants have been bused to Chicago, and Mayor Lori Lightfoot not happy about it. Take a listen.
My frustration comes from the actions of the governor of Texas. There could be a level of coordination and cooperation. Then do the right thing and collaborate and cooperate. Instead of us having to guess, are they coming, are they not coming, how many, what are their needs? That is insanity that doesn't have to happen. He is manufacturing a human crisis, and it makes no sense to me.
Mark, when she says he, why isn't she referring to Joe Biden or Kamala Harris, our border czar?
Exactly, Rob. Look, and you and I, we've talked about this many times. The last 19 months under this administration, Chicago, New York, D.C., and many other states across this country have been receiving illegal aliens all day long for the last 18 months at the hands of the Biden administration. Either DHS through HHS has flown them directly to Chicago, or as Border Patrol is forced to release illegal aliens over to NGOs. NGOs, by the way, subsidized by U.S. taxpayers, have been flying illegal aliens to Chicago every day for the past 19 months. But yet she claims that it's Abbott that's created the crisis rather than the Biden administration.
And she's dealing with 100 people right now. Now, forget about what these cities in Texas and the border have been dealing with for the last 2 years.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. September is historically the worst performing month for the stock market, so you better be ready for it. The Fed continues to aggressively raise rates, and JP Morgan is forecasting another mega rate hike September the 21st. Is that why Jamie Dimon said an economic hurricane is coming our way? Well, gold and silver have remained remarkably stable despite the Fed aggressively raising rates today. The Patriot Gold Group has a special incentive for Newsmax viewers. Huge! Now precious metals investors can enjoy the no-fee-for-life gold and silver IRA on qualifying rollovers, or enjoy free, discreet, insured shipping on all direct gold and silver purchases. Here's the number, 800-356-4470. Call 800-356-4470 today.